Yo there guys, this is Cobb and this video is going to cover 2 arena games, 1 loss and 1 win, both games against the same team. I'm playing in an MLS with Craze and Dibs and we're up against a WMD, which is Warrior, Mage and Resto Druid. I used one of these clips in a montage recently but didn't realise I had another clip against the same team that we lost in, so I'm going to cover both games with some quick commentary, try and point out what we did wrong in the loss and the things we did better in the win. Now in the loss, a lot of things go horribly wrong. Our positioning is messed up for a lot of the game, our CC chains just aren't working. The first mistake we make happens almost immediately. Getting off a good gateway is extremely important in almost every game. Not only does it give your team an extra escape, but if the enemy healer is playing very far back, you can use the gateway to teleport right on top of him and land your CCs. So I should have been telling Craze to go ahead and freeze the warrior so he couldn't interrupt me. We don't do that. I end up dropping onto the floor to get off a gateway, and this isn't good. The floor on Blade's Edge has a lot more line of sight, which is not good for caster comps. We really don't want to be playing down there. Another big part of an MLS doing well at any rating is landing solid CC chains on healers. Right here though, I go ahead and randomly Howl of Terror the Mage, and this is very bad because Craze just polymorphed the Druid healer. I should have saved my Howl of Terror to land as a follow-up to that poly. We also choose to target the Mage. Probably not the best idea. Warriors, melees in general actually, always more vulnerable in an open map. He heals to full here with all the time, but he's still not on the best health. Our CC though on the Druid just isn't good enough. We are landing it, but there really can't be any gaps at all, especially against a Druid. If they just get off 1 life bloom that refreshes a 3 stack of life blooms, you're really going to struggle to get people down. As is quickly becoming evident as well, you can see that targeting the Mage isn't working out too peachily. The Warrior has free reign and is just chomping me and Craze down. We do choose to stick on the Mage though as he pushes in. They are going ham here, and it's because they can. We are currently applying to them about as much pressure as a level 1 critter. Even the healer has pushed in at this point, and I do manage to land a pretty lucky fear though because of that, but it's not really going to matter. They have pretty much ruffle stomped all over us already. We haven't been able to punish them at all for YOLOing in like this. And after my fear on the Druid ends, both myself and Math, in our rabid eagerness to construct at least one half decent CC chain on the healer, managed to deep freeze and coil him at the same time. And if that wasn't bad enough, we don't even land anything off of it either, because again, that warrior is still going ham. And finally, I sort of swap onto the warrior, but it won't be for long again. This WMD are just going to push in, and this time with a bit of CC properly lined up on Dibs, they're going to force Craze's final ice block. I want to also quickly point out that the demonic gateway is still down there, fully functional but about as well used as a PvP trinket in a Cataclysm RPG, which is never, and looking back, it will probably have been better for us just to bite the bullet and fight this arena on the ground. With the way we were playing, our CC probably would have still failed, but at least we'd be able to get away from them. Finally though, 2.5 minutes in, I managed to get off the gateway I wanted at the start of the game. Probably too late, but I feel it's the effort that counts. I also want to mention how I've used pretty much every Howl of Terror on the DPS and not the healer this game. The first Howl should have been on the healer after a pump sheep, but as soon as I messed that one up, we fell further and further behind to the point where I feel like I need to Howl the DPS just to try and keep us alive. Needless to say though, it's not going to work. The WMD has too much pressure at this point, and we just end up gatewaying, scrambling to survive until the game inevitably ends. Now that was a god-awful loss. What do we do differently in the win? First off, I actually get off a gateway, and to me, this is generally the best and easiest gateway to get off in this arena. It means that if the enemy healer does not switch pillars, you can also use the gateway to teleport in and fear bomb him. Another thing that goes down differently almost right away is that we focus on the warrior. Last game, we let him parade around the map completely uncontested, even when he was in the open. This map though has a lot of open space, and this time around, we're going to make sure to take advantage of that. So we go ham on him, and the Druid is a little bit slow at swapping his hots after we've been trucking the Mage forever on the last game we played. I blanket silence the Druid, who's had to push in a lot here to heal his Ramboing warrior, and that's going to let me follow up my silence with a Howl of Terror, getting his trinket already. We go crazy on the warrior and we get his shield wall, and even though they're about to force an ice block from Craze, this is already looking like a way better game for us. We've CC'd properly so far, we hit the right target at the right time, our positioning and their overextending is really hurting their healer, and we've already got the gateway set up correctly. So now their warrior is fully hotted up and I swap onto their Mage, who is kind of out of position. just as Craze lands a full Pom Sheep onto their Druid. And that forces block, so I go right back onto the Warrior again. Credit to him though, he Stormbolts me as I try and follow up via his Druid. If he hadn't done that, he would have been in big trouble right there. Craze goes for a deep though to keep him locked down in Africa, but it's just too late. The Warrior is able to leap halfway back to safety and just about survive, despite taking a Shadow Ban. I feel like we're in a really strong spot right now though. I know that the Druid has no Trinket, the Warrior no Trinket or Shield Wall, and I really want to get some CC flowing again on the Druid, and to do that, I pull back to my gateway, hop all the way across the map and land an easy Howl of Terror. And this is pretty much the kill. Me and Craze having no CC between us to keep the Druid out of the game, while we finish off the Warrior. So it does just go to show, if you're losing to a certain team while queuing, or even a certain comp, and things are going really bad in general, it doesn't hurt to be self-critical a little bit. When I arena, I usually find I'm the one picking the targets we go on and all that, and I picked very badly in the first game we had against these guys, but when we saw we were facing the same team in the arena prep, we had a really quick talk about what we could do differently. Not failing on CC was one of them, and punishing the Warrior for going ham was another. The Gateway also had a part to play, as well as actually landing good offensive Howl of Terrors this time around. And as you can see, everything combined nicely for a pretty comfortable win that time around. Anyways guys, I hope you liked this video. It's been a while since I've done a bit of commentary like this, so remember to like this video if you did enjoy it. Thanks for watching everyone, stay Destro, and I'm going to catch you all a little bit later.